Welcome to HyVee Today with Tony Tone. We're live inside Muscatine HyVee on 2nd Avenue in Muscatine, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, here's Tony Tone.
Hello, friends. Welcome back. It's HyVee Today for the 13th of August. Tony Tone with you inside the Market Grill Express here at HyVee off of Highway 61 in Muscatine. If you're watching outside of Muscatine, the address is technically 2400 2nd Avenue, but we are literally right off of Highway 61. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see trucks going by on the highway, and which is a good sign, right? And again, we always give shout outs to our truckers that have not stopped working at the height of the pandemic. They continue to work. I mean, imagine the poor truckers that were out on the road Monday when those storms rolled in and the wind, and they were turning some semi trucks over. I cannot even imagine. So it's good to be with you. Hope you're doing well. Going to look at the Lutheran Living Senior Campus weather forecast really quick to start things off. It seems like the humidity is creeping back in. You can see currently 72 degrees, but it feels like 80. Oh no. Today, cloudy and humid, a high of 86. Tonight, partly cloudy and humid, a low of 63. And tomorrow, as you can see right there, a little bit of sun, a little bit of clouds, 87. It's going to feel like 94. So as we were saying before we started, Brad was saying it's August and it's Iowa. So right, I mean, it is what it is. You know, we could have this type of heat and humidity carry through to September, and then don't forget that it snowed on Halloween last year. I want to start by giving my brother-in-law, Nolan Mills, a happy birthday shout-out. He turns 29 years old today. So a lot of you know Nolan, and today's his birthday. And I don't know if he's watching this, so I don't want to give away a surprise that we're working on. I don't think he'll see this. So we are surprising Nolan, and I don't know if I'll have it today or if I'll have it tomorrow, but it's going to be a pretty cool shout out from someone that he really likes, someone that might also be known as Pee Wee Herman. So again, I don't want to give it all away, but it's Nolan's birthday. He's 29, and I've known Nolan since 2009, which seems like just the other day when you think about it, and then you think about 2009, and it's like, holy moly, that was a long time ago. Like that was 11 years ago, right? So happy birthday to you, Nolan. I can't wait to see his reaction when we get this video. And I'm like constantly looking at my phone to see if he's watching on the live feed. Like I don't want to blow the surprise, so I'll mum's the word. Don't tell him, all right? And then just a quick mention, this 3-day breakfast sale. I've got a little flyer right here. It's on the back page of the HyVee ad. It's all things breakfast. And if you love cereal and bananas and eggs and everything, check it out. Pop-Tarts in there as well. I see Frosted Flakes, and that is definitely a childhood cereal item. So it's right here. It starts today. It goes through Saturday. It's 3 days of breakfast deals at the store. All throughout the store, really. And yeah, look at that. Nice, right? Reese's Puffs cereal. So many, I mean, you could get overwhelmed in the cereal aisle. There's so many different kinds of cereal. So don't get overwhelmed in the cereal aisle. I do miss Rice Krispie Treat cereal. People think I'm crazy when I say that there was a Rice Krispie Treat cereal back in the day. And maybe it's just because I like Rice Krispie Treats, which is fine. All right, let's get to our first guest who's patiently waiting. First time on the show, which is always fun. We have two guests today that have not been here before. Jess Mitchell is here with JDM Marketing. We have her listed as a local artist, which I think is true because you do make art. And you've been doing it for a long time. So welcome. Thanks for coming.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So I want to start with maybe giving the folks that are watching some background info on you. And then there's a really cool project that you've been working on. So how long has it been, Jess, that you've been into either creating art or because you also can do marketing for folks and help businesses. So how long have you been doing that?
So I've been doing art, I would say all my life.
Awesome.
You know,
yeah.
It's since a kid, just being out in nature. I've always liked doing scenery, and then I'm also what you call a huge nerd. So I like anime, cartoons. So I've always been sketching, but that's something that I've been able to spend more time on as we moved out here to Iowa from Colorado, which has been great to be able to focus on your dreams. So Iowa is heaven.
So, right, and you just, well, how long have you guys been here now? Like 3 years?
This is our third summer here.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So isn't it wild that like growing up, maybe you didn't think you could take what you're interested in and turn it into a job or something you could do every day as you got older? Because I feel the same way. Like, I wish I was always wanting to like act growing up, and I didn't pursue it until I did comedy sports several years later. Because I didn't know, like, I'm like, well, what do you know, is that going to be something I can do for a living? Well,
you have all these people telling you that you don't make money off of that. You need to go to school for something that makes money. So that's always what I was told is when you get to college, go learn something you can make money for. And then I did that. And then the recession happened. So I was like, well, I'm working retail anyways. Could be doing art too. So.
And it's so funny to hear you describe yourself as a nerd, because I certainly, like, I'm not, I haven't said this yet, and I'm okay admitting it. I have 4 tattoos, and I have a tattoo on this arm that I got 18 years ago when I was a freshman in college, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to cover it up with the Back to the Future tattoo.
Oh, nice.
And I felt like when I was thinking about that, I was like, is that ridiculous? I'm going to be 37. And then I thought, it's my body. And if I want to put a Back to the Future tattoo on my arm that nobody's going to see unless I show it to them, or I'm like, sun's out, guns out shirt, why not? Yeah. Right? So, but what I'm saying is, like, I remember sometimes growing up feeling like I'm the only person that likes this or likes that. And it's never true. So I hope for any young person that's watching, they don't feel like they're alone in sketching or drawing or recording themselves or, you know.
I think something big that I wanted to bring up too was it was really difficult for me to want to bring my art out into the public, afraid of all the criticism.
Sure.
I've received a lot of great compliments and a lot of good feedback. And I use my husband to be the one to tell me to push my art further.
Good.
He's the only one I trust to make that.
Yeah.
That comment, plus he's the only one that can get away with it. So.
Right. Yeah, well, and it's good to have that support system, even if it's a sounding board, but also pushing forward. So something that you've done recently that I think is super encouraging and inspiring is supporting the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter. And I've been on the fundraising board at the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter for maybe 4 or 5 years now. And what's tough about the pandemic is that it canceled their annual New Beginnings fundraiser. And in one night, Jess, we were doing like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and it was gone. So had you wanted to do something for them prior to the pandemic and it just timed out? Because it seemed like the timing was really great for the designs that you made and how you're able to help them. How did that come together? Because I don't know that story.
So I had first been introduced to MCSA when I was working at Flickinger and thought the work that they were doing was amazing. That center is something that I had never really seen before, and at least just not up close, and saw the work that they were doing and really wanted to support it. So when I saw during the pandemic that was something that they were really struggling with, along with a lot of other businesses in town, but it was just a way that I felt that I could help. I'm not trained to help in the center or anything, but at least trying to do a fundraiser of some kind was how I could contribute.
So we have a website link, guys, and it's through Redbubble, is that right? So this Redbubble link that we're going to show you has this design. There it is right there. So the Rest Now, You Are Safe, and Jess's business is JDM Marketing, right? Look at that. It's so beautiful.
This is the original.
Oh my gosh, you have the original here?
Yes.
So what you maybe don't know is that in the red shirt is Chris Anderson, the guy that's painting all the buildings downtown. So
I know Chris.
We have local artists all over the place. This is the original, Jess. This is exciting. I didn't know. Oh my gosh. Okay, so talk about the inspiration for Rest Now, You Are Safe. It's so beautiful. I'm so glad you brought the original.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So the inspiration was I actually myself just went through some anxiety, panic attacks, and didn't really feel safe until I was home and resting. And when the pandemic happened and MCSA wasn't allowed to have their event, I just thought how horrible it would be to need a place to rest and to feel safe. So no matter what you look like, no matter your beliefs, you need that safety.
Yeah.
So this is kind of how I felt when I was able to go home. And I think a lot of people can identify with that too.
So it's really cool to have the original. It's amazing to have the story behind it. And now people that are watching can go online to that Redbubble website. And it's not just like, I mean, I had a friend of mine that had like a shirt, and then there was like a pillow, and so I didn't even know what Redbubble was, but it seems like, you know, you can upload a design and then they're able to get it printed in a lot of different ways, and it's a beautiful design.
Thank
so
you.
if you're watching and you want to jump on, Chris, let's go back to that website. Do you have that pulled up, that Redbubble? Because a portion, how does it work? Is it a portion of each purchase is donated to MCSA, or?
Yes.
Okay.
So 80% of the purchases, the profits will go to MCSA.
Wow.
The nice thing about Redbubble the reason why I'm using it is because people can order whatever apparel or items that they want. I personally like the pillow. I think it goes really well with the message.
Super cool.
And Redbubble does take some money because they're manufacturing it and everything. So I'm not getting dollar for dollar on it, but it's just nice that people can have a way to promote MCSA in any way that they want, it's a shirt, a coffee mug, or a pillow. And I wanted to be able to get those items to people quickly. So
you probably haven't had the experience, because it doesn't happen that often, but when I was at the radio station in town, at this point it may be 3 or 4 years, 5 years ago, I don't remember, a coworker and I got to tour the domestic violence shelter, and it's almost tough saying the word shelter because it's a home. You could, and it's in a confidential location, signed a confidentiality form. Not going to say, never would say where it's at. You could drive past it, you would have no idea because it just blends into a neighborhood here in town. The thing that has stuck with me is we were there one day, it was empty. The next day it was full.
Wow.
In one day. That's not an exaggeration. I've said that time and time again on this show. It was true. So sometimes I'm like, am I doing enough? And anytime I've ever thought about like stepping off the fundraising board, that thought goes away in a second, because I remember standing in that home and thinking, when women and children are fleeing a domestic violence situation, and they say it takes like 5, 6, 7 times until they actually go, they are showing up to a place like the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter with nothing. So for you to have created a design, understand how it can help, Redbubble, shout out to you, 80% is amazing, especially this year where we already said, they're going to be short thousands of dollars. It's a big deal. So I think that's fantastic. And like I said, I've loved seeing friends of mine buy this, the design on the shirt or the pillow, and it's really just great. And it's going to make a big difference, because that's what they do. I mean, we're sitting here right now, and I guarantee the shelter's not empty. There's women and children that are at the shelter right now.
Yeah.
And it's weird to think about that in Muscatine, Iowa, like small town USA, but we need the shelter to stay open. So
Definitely.
I'm super happy that you did that, and I imagine the feedback you've received has been outstanding, right?
Yeah, it's been great. And Redbubble will pay out, I think, on the 15th. But I'm going to keep the campaign going for as long as it's needed, because once my design is uploaded on Redbubble, then it doesn't have to go away.
Yeah.
I can keep it up there forever. But I just wanted to promote it now, especially because of the need and because that fundraiser was canceled. So every season I hope to do another fundraiser. Probably in the fall I'll do one for the school system in some capacity, whether it's directly for the school or something that's related to it. But that's kind of my goal on using art and using marketing really for good, and promoting people that are doing a good job, and really helping them in that way, because those shelters, they only have so much money for people to do marketing and to do fundraisers and plus run the center. Right. So I want to help however I can.
Oh, it's incredible. And you brought some, what else did you bring? I don't want to neglect that, because of course I want to
This is my personal art, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
So I have both of these pieces are actually at the Wild Thing downtown on 2nd.
Awesome.
So this is something that I've just been working on, personal piece, and it's inspired by Muscatine.
Cool.
So it's I I can't remember what I called it.
Yeah.
It kind of changes every day.
Sure.
We can call it Muscatine Dreams or.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, so it's watercolor and pen,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been really liking working with these mediums.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, Iowa's been a great spot for me to stay inspired by and keep my art going. And then
Yeah.
I've also done the mural down at Contrary Brewing.
I was gonna say, so that is super cool. So you could go to Contrary today or this weekend and see Jess's work in person, which is
Yeah.
an awesome space. Contrary is great, and it's nice that businesses like that are cool with someone like yourself going in and just kind of getting creative. Because at first, sometimes you're like, and Chris has said this too. Like at first, you're like, well, it's the side of a building. I hope it, I'm not sure where it's going to go. And then
Right.
for someone like me that just sees it, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And it's, but at the time, do you feel like when you're doing something like that, you have a starting point, or is it just
Sometimes I feel like I
improvisation?
think what
Yeah.
is going to turn out doesn't really turn out, but then I just keep going and keep
Yeah.
pushing myself, and then I'm like, oh, that turned out really nice. And same thing with the wall at Contrary is there was different backgrounds at one point. And I have to give a shout out to Santos because he was actually did the hops. Him and the Who Arted guys were the ones
Flynn,
that did
right?
that part. Flynn, yeah, thank you.
No, those guys are awesome too. There's a lot of
So it was a
talented
good
people in this
collaboration.
town. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Do you have aspirations to do any, like, you want to tag team with Chris on a building or something?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
That scale, obviously you've done bigger stuff at Contrary, so
It was
You're not
that was my
limited.
first giant mural,
Yeah.
and I loved it. I loved
Right.
painting on a wall. I loved just using my whole body to kind of get into it and spray painting or whatever. But
Yeah.
I hope to do more of those. And yeah, Chris, let's team up.
I feel like, so before the show, Chris is the guy that's like, he's working on stuff all the time, and I love the coolest thing about this town, the history of the pearl buttons. Anytime anybody like digs into the earth, you can pull up the clamshells.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean this right here, this is just asking for not doing art on it, but just inspiration
That's
can
so
come in.
funny. I was actually down in the river yesterday
Yeah?
picking up shells for a new art project.
That's
so.
cool. That's what I'm saying. Like, again, there's like not, I don't want to say it's a surge because it's been going on for a while, but local art maybe has never been stronger in Muscatine, and I've only been here 8 years, but maybe it's stronger. It's never been as supported or covered or talked about, or I mean, I just think of all the spots that we have where people can go, or if they come to town. I mean, you guys being here 3 years now, and it's maybe if people are watching, you're thinking like, you can be in. Jess just said she's inspired by Iowa to make art. Like, yeah, right? I mean, even coming
There's
from
so much
Colorado,
here,
which
yeah.
is like super beautiful and cool, like you're finding inspiration in Iowa. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, I'm reconnecting with nature again in Iowa because Colorado was so crowded and it was difficult to get to the mountains where I grew up in. So coming back out here, this is a whole different kind of nature too, with the humidity, and it's so green here. So that's been
The mountains were crowded?
The mountains were crowded. You literally were walking in a
wild.
line to go on a hike, and
Wow.
had to wait for parking spots. So
That's
to go
very
look
bizarre.
at trees.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the Colorado we grew up in,
Sure.
and we wanted to get back to how we grew up, being connected to nature, and Iowa has been great for that. Going to Wildcat and going around here, so it's really
Yeah.
been. I've never seen the Mississippi until now. So.
Super cool. And then I know the Pollinator Project is something that you care about. And I think for people, and I've said on record, like I don't like wasps, but I love bees.
Yeah, I know.
I
we
love
have a
bees.
wasp
I had a
nest.
big old big old bee the other day, and I just kind of waved, and it, didn't sting me, which was great.
Yeah.
But then wasps are just, I mean, unless you correct me, and wasps are pollinators.
No, they
as well.
say bumblebees are just flying pandas.
But the Pollinator Project is cool, and I know you've supported that, and certainly Contrary has incorporated that into a pollinator beer. And
So with that, actually, I do have T-shirts coming in. Finally, there was a lot
Cool.
of delay with
Yeah.
the pandemic to get them printed, and just it was a whole massive stuff. But
Sure.
it's finally getting done, and they have been printed. There'll
Okay.
be some people did order them in advance,
Okay.
so you'll be getting them this weekend. And they'll be down at Contrary this weekend too. So I ordered extras.
Yeah.
So they'll be selling there, and proceeds will be going to the Pollinator Project. The reason I love that place is because of bees.
Yeah, it's really super cool.
It's very important.
Yeah, bees we need them. I mean, people don't understand that we would be in rough shape if we didn't have our friendly pollinators out there. They're not a nuisance. They're working. They're not just hanging out. They're not trying to sting you.
No, they're not. I mean, I've gotten so close to them, and they're just hanging out.
Yeah, right.
They don't even care.
I had we were walking in our neighborhood the other day, and like my neighbor's sister-in-law like rolled in with a thing like a jar of like fresh from the tap honey, like they have bees, and I was like, that is super cool.
It also helps with allergies.
Right.
So if you take your local honey,
sure. Yeah.
then you don't have to take allergy pills.
And I don't have allergies, so I can kind of empathize. But right, local honey, like it's fantastic. Let me see, what do we got? Okay, we got about 4 or 5 minutes. The Rest Now You Are Safe with the Domestic Violence Shelter and Redbubble. Get online, order shirts, pillows, different products. Support the Domestic Violence Shelter. What else? I mean, you got a lot going on, obviously. But is there anything else you want to mention while you're here? I don't want to not.
So I know that the center is also looking for toiletries for the center. They also need clothes for women and children, pajamas specifically, and they also need pull-ups for 3T to 4T.
Awesome.
So those are just some items that they're looking for right now. I also think they're still looking for plastic bags for the meals. So especially now when we're not allowed to bring our reusable bags, definitely bring your plastic bags down there.
Yeah, and the thing is, of course, if you ever want to donate to the MCSA Domestic Violence Shelter, you can take it to MCSA, let them know that that's where it's for. Like we had like 40 brand new pairs of shoes and sandals that we took to MCSA, and when I got there, the girl at the desk, I was like, hey, listen, I'm not going to tell you where these need to go, but I want at least 10 pairs to go to the shelter. And she was like surprised that I knew. But I'm like, no, trust me. I'm not being bossy. I promise. I know that I have to say this so if you ever donate anything and you want it to go specifically to the shelter, the domestic violence shelter, you can take it to MCSA at 312 Iowa Avenue. I think I have that memorized. And just let them know. And as I always say, if you have just that Scrooge McDuck vault full of money that you don't know what to do with, they are more than happy to accept your generosity. And there are ways you can donate right online. Thank you, Chris. That's perfect. There's Jess's artwork right there. That's cool. The question is not, is it weird, but how do you feel when you see, like if someone walked in with the shirt on that has your design, what does that feel like? Because I don't have that feeling. I don't make art. I guess we create content here, but nobody's walking around with, anything I've created. That's pretty powerful.
I haven't seen it yet, but I also haven't been out of my house.
Sure.
But I would be really excited to see it. I get excited just to hear that people buy my art too. So definitely seeing those designs would be really exciting. Just even having that mural up in Contrary, then hearing people comment on it. But first I'm a little, I hope they like it.
Like, that was me. Like, what? You did that? Yes. Which is cool.
Do you have something good to say about it?
Or you're like, yes, maybe have another one and you get the full interpretation.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I think that's really cool, and it's an experience that not a lot of people have. But I hope that you keep creating. And you said that these are at the Wild Thing in downtown Muscatine.
Yes.
Okay.
On Second. Yeah, on Second. So the Wild Thing has my art there, and then I also have an Etsy shop on my Facebook page.
Yes, I think we have the link for the Etsy store. Do we, guys?
Oh, that's all right.
LinkedIn. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a LinkedIn, but I have a Facebook account.
Okay, there's Jess's LinkedIn, and then the Etsy. Etsy is an app. You can go to Etsy.com and find the shop. Look at that. Don't hate, pollinate. Oh, those are so awesome. I remember seeing that. Those are so great.
Thanks.
Oh, that's super cool. And then what kind of items are on the Etsy shop?
So it's my original art.
Oh, okay,
so
perfect.
The original art, and then I'm also, like you said, I have a marketing company.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Sure.
But I specialize in website design for small businesses and nonprofits. I basically build it on Squarespace so that you can edit it yourself later. You don't have to depend on me paying, $100 a month just to look at it for you. I can do that.
Sure.
But I want to teach you how to fish. So I'm going to set you up with all the right tools and get it going. And then I also do promotional items like brochures and flyers to get your name out there. So I'm actually working with a few local companies right now, but of course always still looking to help other people out.
Well, if they needed a friendly voiceover, you can ask me, and I'll refer you to people with better voices.
I do have a recording studio.
Ish.
I have a microphone.
We all have ways that you can make things. Listen, I was talking to somebody this morning. I had an internship in a radio station in downtown Chicago, and they had $1 million studio. And I did 5.5 years in radio in Davenport in an old funeral home, and then I did 5 years in radio in Muscatine in basically a house. So it really doesn't matter what kind of space you're in. If you know what you're doing, it can be in that $1 million setting.
Mine's a office play space,
right?
Basement section.
Catch all.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, listen, I appreciate you being here, and I hope that you're going to continue making art and doing good things. And I think I might have to pick up one of those "Don't Hate Pollinate" shirts because those look awesome, and they're
some beer.
And you're right. And shameless plug, Contrary Brewing. Also, I want to say your husband Jeff, who's great. 99.8% of the times. And then there's one time on Instagram where I post a picture of a non-Contrary beer, and he's like, really? And I'm like, Jeff, I have spent a lot of money at Contrary during the pandemic. And I know he was kidding. But then Mark did the same thing on Facebook.
Okay,
and then Snook, they were like, I'm like.
But you posted,
It was Busch Light Apple.
That's why.
But if you look at the comparison of Tony Tone Contrary posts versus Busch Light Apple posts, it is like 20-1.
But it's because it's Busch Light. You need to
But that's
to us, to them, it's like water. Although I told Jeff that my favorite summer beer is Corona.
Oh boy. You told your Okay, now I'm fine. Now Jeff, I'm good. I didn't say that. So ask Jeff to forgive me, please.
Yes.
And I will always support Contrary as many ways as I can. It was just so funny. They were just coming at me on all social media. I was like, oh my gosh, I just was having one Busch Light Apple in my backyard. Please keep up the good work. I want you to come back whenever you want to, really. And for people that are watching, that Redbubble link, I'll leave it in the comments on this video so you can go right to it and purchase items to support the domestic violence shelter as well. Thank you again.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it. And listen, keep up being creative and stop by the Wild Thing and check out Jess's art. It's really cool. All right, we're going to go CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam, and we're going to show you some breakfast, which is looking good. That's like the perfectly folded omelet. Brad, did you make that? No, Brad's like, I'll eat it, though. He's like, yeah, I didn't make it, but I'll eat it. And then we're going to get ready to talk to Don here in just a minute. Hello, sir. We're going to get you sat down here in just a few. Breakfast in the Market Grill Express is always a good idea. Now Mike Snook on Facebook is saying, well, to be fair, it was Busch Light Apple. Listen, Mike Snook, who has only been on this show to talk about Contrary, by the way. I have not talked about Busch or Busch Light Apple on this show, but Contrary has been guests on this show numerous times. So I feel like I'm doing a lot of defending of myself. All right, listen, come have breakfast with us. Come watch the show. Or come into the Market Grill Express for lunch or dinner. We're open and we're ready to go. We're practicing social distancing. We've got certainly a great menu item. I love the Market Grill Express burgers. They're always good. And we're here to take care of you. All right. This is fun. I like having two guests, and it's good to have. So, by the way, this is a kind of a unique show. Both guests, and I don't think, Don, you've been here before. So we have first-timers on the show today. All right, so with the Fruitland Fire Department, we have the chief, the guy. Don Briggs is here. Thank you for being here, sir.
Thank you.
And you're neighbors with Jess, apparently?
Yeah, they just moved in the last couple months, I believe.
That's wild.
And they walk past my house every day. They just live down the street. I think there's like 4 or 5 houses between us.
Oh, my gosh. I want to be neighbors with the fire chief. That feels like...
There's houses available.
Welcome to Fruitland Chat with Tony Tone. No, that's great. So, I mean, does it feel like? What about you're the fire chief? Do you hate fireworks? Do you like fireworks? I feel like I don't want to. You don't want me to be your neighbor because I like fireworks, kind of. You know.
I like fireworks if they.
Yeah.
And if they would go with the law.
Gotcha. Okay.
And stuff.
Sure.
And, you know, have we put fires out per the fireworks? No.
Sure.
Not in a sense that the fireworks caused the fire, but far as the fireworks themselves, I enjoy watching them.
Yeah.
And everything. I did a good when they did the big firework display on the 4th. The promoter asked if the fire department could go there because of their insurance reasons. They had to have somebody there. I took my GoPro and got some good upshots.
Isn't that cool?
For it,
Yeah.
and everything.
And I gotta say, you know, Fruitland. So if we look at the 4th of July, since you brought it up, a lot of events on the 4th of July didn't happen. A lot of communities said we're not doing anything, and I don't know if it was. It seems like Dave Riggin was one of the driving forces.
Yes, he was.
But you guys really had one of the best, and I've done a lot of parades, as you can imagine. I know you have too. But as far as a parade in a small town that had an unbelievable turnout, it was great.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, did you think, Don, that you would have that many participants?
The parade on the 4th
Yeah.
there lasted 47 minutes.
Oh, you timed it.
I did. From when the first
Awesome.
the first fire truck went out to where I went to that point, it was 47 minutes.
Wow. 47-minute long parade in Fruitland. And it was so great. We were happy to be there with a couple Hy-Vee vehicles. We have an event we're going to talk about, and I'm going to get to that in a second. But, you know, we had some severe weather on Monday.
Right.
Any damage in Fruitland?
We had some few people lost some trees and some branches. And there's a lot of support for the community. Everybody pitched in and helped take their neighbors cut up their trees and haul it away. The one neighbor down the street from me, he lost a tree, and there's like 6 of us down there. I got down there about half when it was half done. Timed that right.
Yeah.
But another neighbor lost a fence. The mayor's house, he lost several branches, and before he even got out there was 6 people out there helping him, and just different people helping different people. You help your neighbors down there.
And Fruitland, 13 years ago, went through pretty bad tornado. So do you think, and I don't know because I don't live in Fruitland. Obviously, I've been in Muscatine for 8 years, and I feel the sense of community here. And to your point, people helping people, neighbors jumping in. It seems like it's amplified in Fruitland. Don, was that the case before the tornado in 2007, or did the tornado help bring people closer together? Because I feel it when I'm down there. It seems like, first of all, everybody knows everybody.
Correct.
And they all get along. And I don't know if that's the case, so don't quote me on that. But that's the sense that I get. But was that happening all along, or what?
Yes. Most of the people do know their neighbors down there. As far as helping each other, ever since I've been down there, I've been on the fire department 42 years plus, and everybody's wanting to help somebody else there, and a lot of people just got to ask. If you ask, you'll get the help.
42 years on the fire department, and what's unique, and correct me if I'm wrong, volunteer fire department.
Correct.
Right? So you're talking about folks that are, working other jobs, families, and then
Correct.
when the call goes off, they are stepping into the role of superhero, which is something that, Don, I don't have that instinct. My father's a retired Chicago police officer, and he always used to try and, bust my chops when I was on the radio in Davenport. He would say, well, your afternoons are wide open. You could be like a firefighter. And I was like, I don't think you understand. When I see fire, my instinct is not, now I've gotten better, but I'm inclined to make the 911 call, then maybe try and help. But 42 years is a long time of having that instinct to just do the right thing. Yeah.
I'm winding down. But
You're winding. What do you mean you're winding down, Don? You can't stop doing it.
Next generation needs to step up and take over.
Sure.
And everything. That's one thing they keep kidding me, that step back and let these younger ones do and stuff. When something needs to be done, if it needs to be done, I jump in and try to help as much as I can.
What was it 42 years ago that compelled you to get involved?
the safety aspect of it. When I joined, we had rubber hip boots and rubber coats, and then I'm part of the tailboarders that you finish getting dressed while you're riding on the back of the fire truck.
Holy moly!
And
I know that
and there was fire phones back then instead of pagers and the radio communication.
Right. And how has it? And it's an obvious answer. How has it changed 42 years later? But certainly the training has maybe nonstop. You always got to be training. Technology hopefully has gotten better, and it seems like you got some pretty incredible support, Don, because you need the resources. And the thing is, like, these vehicles aren't cheap. But if your house is on fire, don't you want to be able to make the call and then have your friends and neighbors show up that are on the volunteer fire department? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's,
as you've said that nothing's getting cheap anymore.
Sure.
What cost under $100,000 40 years ago for a fire equipment, anything fire equipment or fire related, same thing with like for law enforcement, that just goes sky hot. Right now, a new pumper is over $400,000. That's with no basic things.
Wow.
The last new vehicle we bought was in '96. And last year was the first major purchases as far as equipment was air packs. We've gotten different vehicles over the years, but everything's been used. Ever since Iowa took the equipment and machine tax away, that cut our budget down in half, and some years we may not have enough to pay our bills.
Jeez Louise. So that leads us to the fundraiser. And if you're on social media, there is the Facebook page for Fruitland Fire and Rescue. And this is why you're here, is to talk about this. So here's the Facebook page. And Chris, you're going to scroll down, and you're thinking to yourself, that looks like
that picture up above.
Yeah, hold on, Chris, go back up top for a second. Don was saying, so yeah.
Okay, that was on 9th Street when Muscatine had the privilege to burn down the 4 houses to make the way for the parking at the Jefferson Central.
I remember that. And those were like controlled burns.
There was 188 firemen there.
Wow.
I think 24 different agencies.
Jeez.
And all working together on having a controlled burn on those 4 houses.
I remember when that was going on, because for people that didn't know what was happening, they were a little concerned, but it was really cool. And what a great photo to have that many people.
I'm privileged. I got one hanging in my house.
Do you really? That's
and there's
awesome.
One at the fire. There's only four of those pictures.
Yeah.
And Muscatine has one.
Sure.
I have one. The chief of Fruitland at the time has one, and we got one at our station.
It's a really cool image, and what an awesome thing to be able to be a part of. So the picture below it is of a funnel cake.
Right.
People might be thinking, wait a minute, what's going on? We're talking about funnel cakes. Chris, keep scrolling, because there's a post that has all the details right here. Now give me a little zoom in on that. Go up a little bit on that text above those pictures. So Don, you're bringing the fair to Fruitland, and it's going to help out the fire department, right?
Correct. This next generation concessions has gone to different fire departments. About 2 weeks ago, he was in Nichols.
Okay.
And my boy went over there and said, "Hey, we need to try to get this." They're giving 10% of the proceeds to the fire department.
Wow.
And they want to make up for not going to the county fairs and everything.
Yep.
And so this is one way that we're helping him, but he's helping us also.
It's really fantastic. So Chris, we go back to that post. And give me those details up top, because I think I wrote it down. But it's the Don. We're talking about the next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday and Thursday from 4 to 9.
Okay.
Keep looking at the post, because we are throwing back and forth a little bit on. If there's interest of, since golf carts and side-by-sides are legal in Fruitland, that maybe do home deliveries to people to help out on there and stuff. We're throwing it back and forth a little bit. If we got enough golf carts and or side-by-sides to help us do that, to take care of that. They're going to set up on the west side of the fire station.
Perfect.
By the dumpster. If we like to have, if you park there, we'd like to have all you park either on that side of the building or in the grass on the back side of the concession stand, so that if we do get a call, our guys can come in and park in front of the station.
Can we hope that there's no call during the 2 days of the fundraiser? Like, I understand, Don, that things happen, but just to hear you have to say, hey, if you're coming down to get that funnel cake, make sure you leave space so that, God forbid, if somebody, if we got to respond to a call, we can get access to the equipment.
We
sure.
end up, because we've had some people, like on our soup supper or pancake breakfast and stuff, want to park in front of the bay doors. Well,
sure.
We end up putting signs on the bay doors, no parking in front of them. But some people still do. But we've been fortunate. There's been very few times during our soup supper pancakes that we've had to get called out.
Yeah.
Usually around Christmas time, New Year's Eve and stuff, I'd like to have a little cheer for New Year's once in a while, but a lot of times I don't, because if we get called out, I gotta be ready.
All right, so listen, this is really exciting, and I'm glad that you're here today because I'm off next week, but we want people to come down Wednesday, Thursday of next week.
4 to 9.
4 to 9.
He's going to be set up down there. If you want a tasting ahead of time, I know he's going to be in Conesville Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
They're having a street dance with Double D Bar and Grill out there, and then
awesome.
Annalisa on Sunday. There's a card show and something else going on out there with that they're going to be out there.
That's fantastic. So, I want to ask as we wrap up: is there a need for more members of the fire department? Are you always looking for the next volunteers that are interested?
The biggest thing I'd like to see, if you want to join, you can come down and put a membership application in. But remember, it's going to take some commitment. There's training throughout. We like to try to get you to have Firefighter 1 training before your first year's up, but we did extend it out to a 2-year probation period in case you're like there. But it's going to be a commitment. We meet the first Tuesday of the month for business meeting, and the fourth Tuesday is for fire training. Third Tuesday is medical, but we usually do that about once a quarter now.
Wow.
And we only have 5 medical there. We just got 2 more that's finishing up a class, and hopefully they get certified, so that we'll have 2 more there.
I emailed the guys a link. There was a house fire in July that you responded to as well with Muscatine, if I'm not mistaken, right? So that's the thing to keep in mind if you're watching. Should something break out in town, folks like Don and the crew in Fruitland are able to help, and you need the help, right?
What we have with Muscatine is called an auto aid. It's different than the mutual aid that we have with everybody else. The auto aid is if Muscatine or Fruitland's fire district have a confirmed structure fire, we both respond.
Okay.
And
automatically you're there.
It's the dispatch will page both of us out at the same time, as long as it's confirmed. But if it's not, if mutual aid, like with Letts and Grandview, the department has to request on that.
So it's a big deal, and it's good to know that people care, and this is the story on the screen right there, Don. So this was the one that happened in July. And 8:37 in the morning, right? I mean, it's, the fire knows no time frame, day or night, overnight, holiday, winter, doesn't matter. That was at 512 Liberty Street. Obviously, in 42 years, you've seen it all. You've probably seen some tough scenes. But I also know that the strength and the support of your community for the department is what's allowed the Fruitland Fire and Rescue Department to be there and to be strong and to be supported. You have these soup suppers, that are packed in a non-pandemic. I mean, you're always very well supported. Look at this. 22 firefighters from the Muscatine Fire Department and Fruitland Fire participated in the response. And there you go. The
The-
Police Department, Salvation Army, Red Cross. Wow.
The picture you was showing there was right beside the truck. Our truck was in the alley. Muscatine's trucks was in the front.
Yeah.
That was on. We were there. We responded with 2 people.
Wow.
On that, and I stayed to the back of the house, kind of watching, making sure, see what was going on there. And they were fighting it from the front, and our guys will go in with Muscatine guys right along with them and do what needs to be done.
It's a big deal. And how you can support, we're asking you to eat a funnel cake, okay?
Yeah.
And then, support the fire department in other ways as well. They have events going on, and anything you can do to give back will make a difference.
We still have a few signs left. We sold signs for a donation of at least $10.
Nice.
And we still have some of those left. And the proceeds for this is buying, we've got 1 truck set up last fall for air packs.
Okay.
And we're getting the 2nd truck set up. Those air packs should be here in the next week or so. And but we kind of forgot about our RIP bags, and so instead of having the taxpayers paying for it, all this is for the RIP bags that we're going to buy for both trucks is coming from donations.
And is that the sign right there?
Yes.
Perfect. Look at that. All right, guys. Good job. I appreciate you being here and the efforts that you've had, and everybody at the department. It's definitely a tough thing to do, and it's something that I, at 36 years old, still don't feel compelled to, but I'm happy to support the department in conversations like this and helping people get out to events and at the very least just recognize the efforts that are being made.
And if any other fire departments want information on the concession stand, to get them to come to your fire department, get a hold of me, or show up on Wednesday or Thursday next week and talk to the guy himself.
Please don't be a stranger. Come back. If you need anything, reach out. Who connected us? Was it Stacy?
Stacy, my daughter-in-law.
Yeah, so Stacy reached out and made this happen, so shout out to her. And I hope that next week goes well. I'll bring, I got 3 kids, so you get some money out of me, right? We'll be down there. And it's been something that people have missed, Don. There's been maybe you're watching and you're like, oh my gosh, there's going to be fair food in Fruitland. Yeah, it's great.
Yep. So
right, it's a really good idea.
We're putting the press, and on Nichols, they only had like a 3-hour window to get things set up, and they got over $800.
Holy moly!
Over 3 hours of word of mouth and social media.
That's great. So in 2 days, how much can we raise for the Fruitland Fire Department? I think we'll do really well. Thank you again. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. All right, we're going to go to CBI Bank and Trust Aisle Cam, show you some breakfast.
Thank you.
Chief Briggs and the Fruitland Fire Department, they want to see you next week for breakfast. Not for breakfast. They want to see you for fair food, 4 till 9, Wednesday, Thursday. We're going to talk about that tomorrow on the show as well. We're going to keep mentioning that because it's a great cause. Listen, when you call 911, you don't want to have to worry about people not showing up. You want to make sure they're well equipped and they're going to help take care of you. And they're doing that with the Fruitland Fire Department. So that's great. Listen, you got to grab some fair food and support the cause at the same time, right? Isn't that great? I love that. All right, today is National Left-Handers Day. I don't know, anybody here a left-hander? Brad? Chief Briggs is a left-hander. Look at that. It's his day. We do. All right. He said we use the right side of our minds. Oh, my wife is also left-handed, so she's probably gonna, brag about that. She really wanted one of our kids to be left-handed, and I don't think it's working out that well. But she's like, oh, well, maybe the baby will. So Left-Handers Day. It's also Filet Mignon Day. So if you're going to be doing some grilling, check that out. And then it's Prosecco Day. Prosecco is a sweet Italian wine. And we have some Prosecco right here that you could get at Wine and Spirits that would be fun to drink in moderation and fun to open. So here you go. Prosecco right here. You can pop it open and have yourself a good time. Fun looking bottle. Don't shoot a window out with that thing, all right? Okay, let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Let's go with the ad that we have on the back page of the newspaper with the 20% off fuel saver. So if you want to save at the gas pump, you just have to grab a copy of the Discover Muscatine newspaper and grab a pair of scissors, and you're all set. 20 cents off a gallon for, that's just grabbing the paper, right? You don't have to do anything else. You just grab the paper, flip it over, grab a pair of scissors, get to cutting, and you go to Hy-Vee gas, and they will take 20 cents off a gallon. It is literally that easy. So if you haven't seen the paper, it should have been in your mailbox Tuesday or Wednesday. It's also on the screen right here. And the guys are going to scroll down a little bit and show you that 20-cent fuel saver. Boom, there it is. That's it. So even if you don't have the fuel saver, that's still for you. You can use that. No other gas station in town's giving you 20 cents off a gallon just because. Nobody's doing it. So grab that. Go out to the gas station and save. I told you yesterday I have 42 cents on my fuel saver already. So I'm going to take my 42 cents. I'm going to take that coupon and I'm going to turn that into 62 cents a gallon. 62 cents a gallon, right? The rest of the ad has some produce from Kruger's in Letts, talking about local sweet corn, cantaloupe, watermelon, tomatoes, ready to go. And then if we go back up, we'll go in reverse. Flip it and reverse it, everybody. We got Powerade, $2.99, 8-pack of Powerade. Isn't that a good deal? I'm telling you, you got the garage fridge or you going somewhere with a cooler, you got to grab Powerade. You got to do it. It's just one of those awesome, refreshing drinks. When the weather gets hot, the weather gets humid like it is, grab a Powerade, $2.99, no limit, so you can buy as many of them as you need, okay? So pick up Powerade. How about the rotisserie chicken deal, Chris, to the side of that? A rotisserie chicken for $6.99 that comes with mashed potatoes and gravy for free. Hy-Vee rotisserie chicken's bigger, better, antibiotic-free. It's literally bigger than anybody else's. No offense other rotisserie chickens, but you can't compete with us. So that's a good deal. So check that out. And then ribs as well. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the ribs, right? You got ribs on the ad. Pick up a rack of ribs. You are good to go right there. Okay, look at that. Rack of ribs, $10.99. Bone-in pork chops, $1.77 a pound. And then we've got the Iowa beers. You buy 4 6-packs of beers made in the great state of Iowa, you'll get 20 cents off a gallon. So again, if you played your cards right, you buy 4 6-packs, 20 cents. You got the 20-cent fuel saver in the paper, and then you got fuel savers all throughout the store. You're very quickly not having to pay full price at the pump. Right there on the screen, you can see some examples of beers made in Iowa, including Bent River Brewing, Exile in Des Moines, Millstream, and then we also have some Kelowna Brewing Company beers. Can you get the Kelowna ones, or am I blocking the Kelowna ones? I might be blocking them. They're behind me. They're right here. The Kelowna beers are right over my shoulder. Look at that. The Block Party one is very good. Here goes Brad. He's trying to get them. Brad, don't worry about trying to zoom around. Look at that. Aloha, Iowa. And if I know my camera direction, if I lean this way, I'll cover it. But if I lean that way, you can see it. And there's such a mucha, or such much. And then the Block Party one, which is a New England IPA. All right, get the Block Party. Go. Get that one. The blue one. There you go. Right there. That's any IPA. It's very good. I have that in my fridge right now. All right. Welcome to Watch Me Duck and Weave on Camera. Okay, Toyota Muscatine, what's in the box? What's in the box today? I don't know, but I'm really excited. Okay, Toyota Muscatine off Highway 38 here in Muscatine, online at toyotamuscatine.com. New and used vehicles, including, of course, Toyotas that literally run forever. Eyes closed, hearts full. What's in the box? It's in a packaging that's set back. Okay, ooh, this feels like it is. Oh, okay. This ties into our first guest. It's an art kit. Close? What do you mean close? Is it like it's an art thing? It's a coloring thing, and I know that because of the binder part. Okay, what do you mean close? What specific? Oh, Spy Games. I'm sorry, I didn't get Spy Games right. I guess I got to be more specific. Chris is like, yeah, that's kind of close. I mean, also, you know, you could have guessed Spy Games. We need specifics on this show. I'm sorry that I didn't nail it. My bad. This is cool, though. Look at this. This is from Melissa and Doug. It's for the kids, or if you're young at heart, you can do some art, and then you can wipe it off. So this is awesome. I love stuff like this. For the kids, or if you're young at heart. We've also got some artist creations here. We talked to Jess Mitchell with JDM Marketing at 8:30 this morning. She does some art and stuff. Super cool. Oh, that's fun. I'm going to read that comment in just a second, Cheryl. Let me show a couple more art things here. There you go. What is it? A cat unicorn? What is that? Why would they make a cat unicorn? Una Creations includes 20 coloring pages, 1 sticker sheet, and 4 crayons. But why is the cat a unicorn? Look at that cat. It's like, hey. And then there's like, I don't understand what's going on here. There's a lot going on there. The cat is still in my house, by the way. I haven't evicted the cat yet. I'm not a cat person. And I don't feel bad saying that. First of all, I support the Humane Society, Muscatine Humane Society. Please support them. But I'm admittedly not a cat person. I don't mind the cat. The cat's fine. The cat kind of does this to the dog. And I'm like, the dog's been here longer than you have. I don't want my dog to be afraid of you, cat. You're new. Okay. Anyways. Cheryl on Facebook says, Tony, I'm coming to shop later today. If I tell Tony I'm going to meet you, she says. She's coming to meet me. Cheryl's coming to meet me. Bring it on, Cheryl. I'll be here till, what is it, Thursday? I'll be here till like probably 4:30 p.m., Cheryl. And then I got to go because it's my brother-in-law's birthday. So, Cheryl, if you're coming to the store, I'd love to see you and say hi. And Cheryl watches all the time, and I believe she's in Wilton, if I'm not mistaken. So come on through. Christine had said that they love the Fruitland Fire Department. Yeah, they do a great job, right? I mean, I'm telling you, when things happen, you need to be able to rely on folks like the Fruitland Fire Department. So please support them. Okay, some couple of other things I just wanted to show you that look good. A little sunflower action right here, right? Floral Shop always has ways to brighten your or someone else's day. I think this is $8. Is that right? $8? Chris, that's the price for this guy? Wow. And then it includes the vase. That's very nice. Look at that. So again, sometimes you think if you want to get flowers for somebody, is it going to break the bank? The answer is no, absolutely not. So that's $8. And then there's a nice arrangement right over here, Bradley Dangerfield, that's got a nice vase with a sunflower in it. I didn't even recognize or realize that there were sunflowers in there. That's super cool. So the Floral Shop continues to wow with fun ideas. This card is going to hit home for some people. I don't even know if I need to say anything. You're looking for creative cards. Aisle 6 is where they're at. There you go. I don't have to say anything else. I don't. You never want to run out of toilet paper, whether you're a mummy or not. And then another creative card, because listen, we're not too far away from pumpkin everything. Look at that. These are great. So, I mean, pumpkin spice lattes are coming back to Starbucks on like the 25th. So if you're thinking that it's too early for pumpkins, you're not. You're wrong. I mean, pumpkin spice ice cream? Brad likes unique stuff. Pumpkin spice ice cream? Do you have a specific brand that you like? Any of them? All right. I'm not saying that you're wrong. Pumpkin spice ice cream. Blue Bunny had it, he says. Stephanie says, my boyfriend is not a cat person and still plays with my 2 cats. Then he tells them to play in the street. Oh, Stephanie, you win. That's the comment of the day right there. That is good. Yeah. I mean, again, the cat in my house is fine, but it's not for me. I don't, I've gotten older. I'm not like a big animal person. I'm not anti-animal, but I just feel like between 3 kids and work and, it's like, what am I? Well, you're not going to take a cat for, but maybe that's why people like cats, because they don't need you. Like you can just, it does its thing. And then dogs are just like, hey, what's up? Hey, I'm ready. Let's go. Come on. Ready? Huh? I'm a dog. Look at me. Pet me. Huh? Let's go. Outside? I mean, that's kind of how our dog is. He just wants to eat everything. And then he just, oh, man, I was sweeping up. Because I had my tree cut down the other day. So I'm sweeping up last night. My dog is freaking out. He's a big baby, but when he sees other dogs, he just barks, and he's a puggle, so it's like a nasally, like, and I'm like, dude, stop it. So then people think he's like, they're like, oh, I don't want to put my dog. I'm like, he's a big baby. His bark is way worse than his bite. All right. Anyways, let's mention some things. We're going to get out of here. We're going to go pretty quick because I don't want to go too late. And then tomorrow's show is just packed to the gills, by the way. All right, the breakfast sale. I think I emailed this. On the back page of the ad, inside the newspaper, 3 days of breakfast savings for you, from cereal to eggs and orange juice and milk and everything in between. It's all things breakfast here at the store. Should you need anything, you come in the next 3 days, today, tomorrow, and Saturday, and pick up these deals, okay? So it's on the back page of the corporate advertisement, and it's a great opportunity for you to save. There it is right there. Look at that. We've got apple juice. We've got orange juice. We've got breakfast pizza, English muffins, cereal. We've got a good start breakfast from the Market Grill Express. How about some yogurt in the mix? BOGO donut holes, BOGO muffins. So a lot of great deals, guys. And, don't miss it. So that starts today, and it goes through Saturday. And we want you to check that out. Stephanie says they also have 2 large dogs. They got a full house over there. Y'all got 2 dogs and 2 cats. You got it going on. Hopefully everybody gets along, coexists, right? Okay. The local ad, we told you about that, 20 cents off a gallon. We don't need to show that again. We're good. The front page of the ad this week has those hot deals. The front page of the Hy-Vee ad that starts every single Wednesday has ways that you can save money. So, again, you just look at the front. If you're into some hot deals, those are on there. I think there's grapes, there's chicken, there's bacon wrap fillets, and it's just a good-looking advertisement for you, right? So Pepsi, Skippy peanut butter, Cheetos, bread, bacon, hot deals. Front page of the ad. It's on the screen, and it's online, and it's in your mailbox if you haven't read your paper yet. If you have a smartphone, you download the HyVee app. You can save on butter. This week, every week, the deal changes. It's a good deal on HyVee butter. So that's what it looks like on the app. And then when you press get the deal, it flips around, and then it gives you a little QR code that you scan at the register. And that's how you lower the price of the butter. So you can scan it. We can scan it right from your phone. They just boop, they scan it, and then that's it. So I covered the QR code there because that's a screenshot from my phone, and I don't want anybody to take advantage of my coupon. So download your own app and get it for yourself. Don't steal my butter savings. So it was nice hearing that Jess used to help out Flickinger Learning Center and supported their efforts. And Flickinger is ready for this Saturday, 2 days from now. It's goat yoga, everybody. Listen, we've been talking about this for a while. It's a fun fundraiser for the Flickinger Learning Center located here in Muscatine that is gearing up. Once school starts, Flickinger is back in full force, helping out kids, making a difference in their lives. It's a great place, and this is a fun fundraiser. Whether you love yoga or you just want to see some kid goats, they'll take your support. They'll take your donations. It's this Saturday, August 15th at 9 a.m. I assume they still have space available, but don't quote me on that. Email them at flc@flickingerlearning.org to reserve your spot with goat yoga. I'm like inclined to say we should bring one of the kid goats in here, but that's probably not a good idea. All right, back to school coming up soon with school starting in Muscatine on Monday, August 24th. If you need the face masks, it's part of the new normal for now. In aisle 6 here at the store, you can see on the screen we've got Muscatine. We've got Wilton. I think the L&M ones are sold out. I don't think we have any more L&M ones, so if you waited on those, I'm so sorry, but we definitely still have Muscatine face masks, Wilton face masks in aisle 6 with all the other back-to-school supplies right here at your Muscatine Hy-Vee. Shingles. If you're 50 years or older, and I know that this might sound like a broken record, but the good news is we have the shingles shot. And you don't need an appointment. You just can walk right into the Hy-Vee pharmacy and say, hi, I'd like to get my shingles shot. They'll get you taken care of. It's 2 shots. You get 1 today, 1 in a couple weeks. If you have insurance, it's probably going to cover it. You're going to protect yourself from shingles. Don't worry about getting shingles. It sounds terrible. I don't want you to have to deal with that. And then if you don't want to come into the store, if you're practicing social distancing, of course, you can order your groceries online with Hy-Vee aisles online from your phone, from your tablet, or at HyVee.com/groceries. Same day pickup available. You pull into the parking lot. We've got the little red shed out there. They check you in. You pull up. We load your groceries. It's a fantastic service. Do I work here and use aisles online? Absolutely. My wife can place an order, and then I can leave, get in my car, pull up, and then let my coworkers do the work. I mean, it's great. And I don't feel bad taking advantage of it because it's a fantastic service. So please check it out at HyVee.com/grocery or with that Aisles Online smartphone app. Okay, well, let's see. The store is open at 6 a.m. I'll just say that. 6 a.m., open for business. Should you need anything, 6 to 11, Monday through Sunday. Those are the store hours. Okay, so I think that's good. I'm looking at my list. I want to thank our guests that were here today. We started with Jess Mitchell with JDM Marketing. You can see Jess and her work with Redbubble.com, and you can purchase her design, Rest Now You Are Safe, to support the MCCA Domestic Violence Shelter. Jess, first time on the show. She did a great job. And you can also see her artwork at The Wild Thing in downtown Muscatine. So we thank Jess Mitchell for being here. We also had a great chat with Don Briggs, Fire Chief with the Fruitland Fire Department. Don't forget, next week, Wednesday, Thursday, in Fruitland, you can purchase some fair food and 10% of sales going back to the fire department. Isn't that exciting? All right, so tomorrow on the show, we start with the Wonder Twins, Chris Bohr and Brenda Christensen. Will be here. They'll be ready to go. Talking about Almost Friday Fest coming up on Thursday, August 27th in downtown Muscatine. Almost Friday Fest is back with social distancing guidelines in place with live music from Aftershock. You can get all the details tomorrow on this show at 8:30 with Brenda Christensen and Chris Bohr. And you can always check out Keep Muscatine Beautiful on Facebook for the latest. Also tomorrow on the show, we'll talk to some members of the Muscatine High School Softball Booster Club. And then at 9:20-ish, we'll talk to some members of the Muscatine Riverhawks football team. Muscatine Riverhawks football in action this Sunday. So 3 sets of guests tomorrow, 8:30, 9, and 9:20. We will be incredibly busy, and we look forward to talking to you then. So thank you for watching the show. Thanks to CBI Bank and Trust, Toyota Muscatine, and Lutheran Living Senior Campus. Should you need anything in the meanwhile, you can always email HyVeeToday@gmail.com. Come in and see us. Breakfast sale here at the store, 20 cents off in the newspaper, and we've got one more show for you tomorrow. But that's it for now. Take care. Goodbye, friends. We're good.
Thanks for watching Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone.
Be very, very quiet while hunting wabbits.
We'll do it again tomorrow with more local guests from in and around the Muscatine community.
I'm trying to emote for the play that the alumni are putting on in Wilton this Friday, Saturday.
Questions, comments, know a great guest? Reach out to Hy-Vee Today with Tony Tone on Facebook or via email, HyVeeToday@gmail.com.